This video came up in my recommendations. It brings to light whether or not Google is censoring ads. So before I get into my part of the video, here's a short preview. If you want to see the full video, it's in the description box. Just click on the link under sources.
Okay, so my understanding actually is one of the members of this committee, Senator Marsha Blackburn, had one of her ads blocked because you deemed it shocking content. Is that...
Ads, again, distinguish ads from videos. I thought you divided those two. Ads, we have had both Democrats and Republicans on occasion be blocked. In the case of Senator Blackburn, yes, there was an ad that she submitted. It involved one of the people on the ad voicing an obscenity that...
Although that was bleeped out, is that correct?
That violates our policies.
No, it doesn't, because my red pill video was up on Google Ads. I censored all the swear words and cussing, and it was allowed because of that. Because the first time I did it, I didn't censor it, and it wasn't allowed. So when I did censor it, it was allowed. He's not being very truthful.
Well, it was clear what it was, apparently, and that was violated. So we went back, we talked to the senators.
So let me of how many pro-life ads has Google refused to run? This committee has heard testimony, for example, that the movie Unplanned, the true story about a former employee at Planned Parenthood, Google refused to run their ads. So that's a question I'd like an answer to. How many pro-life ads did Google refuse to run, and how many pro-choice ads did Google refuse to run? Likewise, how many pro-Israel ads has Google refused to run? How many anti-Israel ads? Those data, right now, Google is a black box, and nobody knows. Let me ask another question. What was the average ad rate Google charged the Trump campaign in the 2016 campaign?
Ad rates, Senator, are set by auction. So Democrats, Republicans, it's entirely based on when they would want to run.
There is an average ad rate. That is a number. It would be the average of the rate you charged across the board. And I'm going to ask you in writing, what was the average ad rate that the Trump campaign paid and the Clinton campaign paid?
An average bid means the average cost that the majority bids in the same category. Here's an example. To the right, it shows 4 cents. That's the average bid. And towards the middle, where it shows 8 cents, that's how much I added to see if this video will be shown more. The higher you bid, the higher your chances. However, if you steer clear from the 4 cents and the average that everyone else pays, you could be paying through the teeth just for an ad, or Google will still not show the ads properly, and you will be paying a lot of money for a little outcome.
And if those two numbers are roughly equal, that will indicate one thing. If those two numbers are wildly different, that may indicate something else. And right now, it is Google that knows that, and as far as I know, nobody else. Now let me ask you, some have asked, well, gosh, who would possibly think that Google was discriminating against conservative views? The senior leadership at Google, does it lean left or does it lean right?
Senator, senior leadership, that the whole team consists of people from a variety of different perspectives, from outside of the United States, from American...
Mr. Baccia, you're doing something rather remarkable, which is you're managing to be less candid than Mark Zuckerberg. Mr. Zuckerberg, when he testified before this committee, admitted Silicon Valley is overwhelmingly liberal, and anyone operating in the realm of simple reality would acknowledge that. Would you agree with that?
Senator, I go back to 100,000 people, 70, 80 different countries, leadership teams pulled from all over the world. I don't think it's a matter of easy caricature. The days when we were just a Silicon Valley company.
Let's focus on some simple data. It's where data is helpful. I did an FEC analysis in 2016 of senior executives at Google, people who had the title of some form of executive, vice president, or director. Found at least 88 unique senior officials at Google who made contributions to the Hillary Clinton campaign. 88. Do you know how many senior executives at Google made contributions to the Trump campaign?
Senator, it's not my business to look into that.
Care to field a guess? 0. Goose egg. Not a single one. This ain't close. That you can't say, gosh, I don't know anything about the politics here. That is disconnected from reality. Let's look at another example. Senator Blackburn asked about the advisory council that you put together on artificial intelligence. One of the people on that advisory council was Kay Coles James, who was the head of the Heritage Foundation.
Yes, sir.
You worked at the Heritage Foundation.
I did.
I believe you said. Do you consider the Heritage Foundation some fringe organization?
No, Senator, I consider it a conservative organization.
So 2,500 Google employees signed a petition to have Ms. James removed from the council. And they said, quote, by appointing James to the ATEAC, Google elevates and endorses her views, implying that hers is a valid perspective worthy of inclusion in its decision-making. This is unacceptable. So you have 2,500 employees at Google saying that Ms. James, who, by the way, is an African-American woman, was one of the first women to desegregate the Richmond public schools. 2,500 Google employees saying that her view is not valid or worthy of inclusion. Google, in response to this, dissolved the entire committee. Do you understand when you see that kind of bias saying a conservative African-American woman's views are not valid and not worthy of inclusion, that the American people would say, these guys are silencing voices they disagree with? Google executive Jen Janai was videoed saying that Google is, quote, training its algorithms with an eye to prevent something like 2016 from happening again. Is that what Google is working to do? And here's the quote. We're also training our algorithms like if 2016 happened again, would the outcome be different?
As an experiment, I decided to try Google Ads on this video. I already knew it would be disapproved, and it was disapproved because of adult content. I had this picture up in the video, and this is a guy from the Pride Parade. The Pride Parade, which is supposed to be kid-friendly and teaching kids all about it and family-friendly, where these little ones learn what it's like and what it's all about, so that later in life they can become brainwashed marshmallows, oppressed for reasons they don't know. I also had this picture because the video was about breastfeeding in public, and breastfeeding in public is okay, right? I mean, that's what liberals keep saying. And besides liberals, people who just approve of it, there's nothing sexual about it, there's nothing adult about it. In fact, I should not have even blurred out this picture, but I did anyway. The rep on the phone told me that it's adult content. It is seen as sexual, but apparently that's their policy. So I decided to try another video. My July 4th is racist video, and I titled it just that. And I wasn't allowed to continue because I used the word racist, and it was deemed inappropriate language. So I changed the letter A to a symbol, and then it went through, but then it was later disapproved because I replaced an inappropriate word with a symbol. I deleted that, and I shouldn't have because I wanted to put it up to show you, but the second time I put it through, it did go through. I changed the word racist to oppressive, and it worked. So I decided to give Google Ads a call, because really, what's the harm in the word racist?
Thank you for calling Google Ads. My name is Joanna. How may I help you today?
Hi, Joanna. I have a question about the setup for campaigns. When I went to promote one of my videos, I was trying to just do a little bit of an experiment here. And I typed in the title, July 4th is racist, and the term racist was not allowed. I got an error message saying that it's inappropriate language. So then I put a symbol in place of one of the letters just to try to get past that, which I shouldn't have to, but I did. And I found out later on that my ad was disapproved because I used a symbol in an inappropriate word. So when I did it again, I took down the campaign and I tried it again. But the second time it was approved. So I would like to know, is someone personally looking at words and approving and disapproving them?
Okay, just give me a quick moment to pull up your account and have a look at it, okay?
Okay.
The question that you have had, so it's not the case that someone goes ahead and personally, approves or disapproves the ad. It's the system. So if your ad does not get approved by the system, when the automatic review happens, then we raise it to the manual team, the wider team who does the manual review. But when the moment you create the ad, it gets under review automatically. So not a person in particular goes ahead and, approves randomly like that. It is as per the Google's global policy. The ads are approved or disapproved. If your ads are compliant, they are approved. If not, then they get disapproved, ma'am.
So what exactly is wrong with the word racist? Like, what's wrong with the word itself that Google Ads cannot approve having any form of that word?
Okay, ma'am. As per, the editorial policy, as per the policy, so if it was flagged before, the word is not allowed by the system. So it is by the system, which is why the word was not allowed.
But that makes no sense because, like, what if I have something legitimate that I need to talk about, which I did, and I can't even title this properly? I have to use symbols just to bypass the system. Who decided to say that the word racist is a bad word and inappropriate, and so Google Ads needs to censor that word out? Who's in charge of doing that?
Just give me a moment. I'm checking that for you to give you more details, okay?
Thank you.
Sure. The word racist itself is a highly sensitive word. So the reason could be the system not be flagging that word because of the highly sensitive nature of it, ma'am. So the system does not promote even the words like this and other words as well. So which is why your ad was disapproved in the first place.
Well, so you're telling me that people who are offended by the word racist have to be catered to, so Google Ads decided to ban that word from being used just to satisfy very sensitive, offended people?
Just give me a quick moment. So, ma'am, it is automated by the system. So if the system can word and recognizes that word when you try to promote it, so the system does not know the cause behind it. It is just that it falls under the sensitive category, sensitive words, truly and highly sensitive, which is why it was flagged.
Okay, so who's in charge of doing that, of putting words into this system to make sure that they're not used? Someone has to be behind a desk typing this stuff out and making these decisions. So who decided that this word is too sensitive?
Ma'am, so all I can let you know from my end that it is part of Google's global policy, which is why it's the reason. So even since it's a part of policy, so it is very much in place, ma'am.
No, I know, but if there's an opportunity to talk to the people or person who is responsible for putting these words in the system to make sure that they never get used, I would like to talk to that person or those people.
So, ma'am, unfortunately, it is that does it, but we would surely take this feedback from you.
Yeah, please do, because really, it's kind of ridiculous. A word like this is not offensive at all. It's a word that happens. It's a word that's just, it's like any other word. So I don't understand how someone at Google can declare that it's an inappropriate word and then censor it.
Completely understand your concern, ma'am. It's not about the part that I'm like mentioning is about the sensitivity of the word and the issues like these. So now it's the system that does it, but I truly understand what you're saying, so which is why I would definitely take this feedback, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, ma'am.
Besides being censored by Google Ads, if any of you really want to try this, you have to be so careful and know your way around it, because Google Ads will send your ad to the most random and dumbest places. When I originally posted this video up on YouTube, I got 100% likes, and it was in good standing, but I forgot I left it on Google Ads, and Google Ads showed it to other YouTube channels like these. Channels that steer clear from politics, even some liberal channels, but especially a lot of kids channels. So my ratings suddenly plummeted, and sadly they took my money too. But no worries, I ended it. However, I'm still stuck with the bad ratings. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Make sure your notification bell is turned on so you can get updates for new videos and answers to your comments.
Educate yourself!